possible, I would like to ask a couple of questions to group more people. Maybe one to group more people and others to break. While you were describing your move to Greenhouse-Hasham, you actually advised to either postpone this move or just leave this brahmachari for as long as possible. Are there any positive comments you can share of bringing up, if I'm not mistaken, 3 children? Any positive comments you can share with us?
Oh, there's lots of positive moments, but this is a brahmachari convention. How positive would you like me to be?
I'd like you to be sincere, just to see both sides of the coin.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I can tell you that the first time, when I first came to this temple, I was 17, and I had, I was just a pure young man, untouched by material energy. Well, certain forms of material energy, shall we say. So being a brahmachari was quite a natural thing. But when I was maybe 24, perhaps I was thinking, will this be true? And then someone gave me a piece of good advice. They said, look, change your situation, put yourself in a new situation where you will have to respond with greater levels of responsibility, and you'll have to pray in order to become stronger. And so I was taken, at that point, I was taken out of a comfortable situation, and at that point I was sent to Africa, where it was before the days of the internet, before the days of the international telephone. It was way out on the edges of ISKCON. And I had to do a lot of praying to keep me strong in that situation. So I was in that situation for another 2 years before eventually making the choice. But I can tell you that those 2 years, with intensified prayer and intensified service, was very, very good. Those were very good years. What is positive? Something I can tell you is positive is that Krishna is definitely real. I can tell you that if you do not pray to Krishna as a brahmachari, when you are a grihastha, you will definitely pray to Krishna. If you have to have pain as an impetus for prayer, then grihastha life is very good for experiencing a certain type of pain in order to force you to pray to the Lord. And if you pray, Prabhupada says that you have to chant japa like a lost child, chanting for its mother. So certainly in grihastha life gives you the opportunity. Listen, if they invite me to a grihastha convention, I'll speak a little differently.
Well, to be honest with you, while I was asking, I was expecting to hear a couple of stories about growing up children, which is perhaps the main stress of my question.
Perhaps for another convention,
but
another day.
Then the second question to one of you, just maybe both you can share your opinions. If I'm not mistaken, Prabhupada said that we weren't men to be brahmacharis and women to get married. So how these things work?
Well, if I was a Catholic, I would say that, my son, is a mystery. I think it's a little bit like the reporter who came to Prabhupada and said, what if everybody in the world becomes a brahmachari? And he looked at him and he said, oh, he said, don't worry, that will not happen. You want to?
One thing, there are many hands. I'm just concerned, what do we do about the time? Should we just continue?
Not to a point. Yeah, we have another program waiting. The background players also.
So, okay, let's say, who wants to ask or comment? One, Abhay Prabhu, you have to put your hand up, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we take this 9 and we end. Is that okay? No new hands.
Bhakti Charu Swami recently answered the question of how do you have the men remain brahmacharis and the ladies all getting married. He said, I want the ladies to choose husbands who are not yet devotees, they live outside ISKCON, and make them devotees. They can get married to those men.
This is a question to Krishna Kshetra Guru. As an initiating spiritual master, I imagine you have one or two ladies who approach you who are not married and take you in the role of guru. Sometimes you ever notice that their intentions may not be Uttama Bhakti? And if so, how do you deal with it? Especially as a brahmachari.
The answer to the first question is yes, and the answer to the second one is we're still learning. I think it's one of those very curious, strange fields within our society, which is maybe still in the process of being sorted out. That's another story, how it is that one day I was sort of told, now you're a guru. Anyway, we won't go into that. That was a strange history. But yes, not only have I had lady disciples with less than uttama adhikari intentions, I've had lady disciples declare that their intention is to marry me. And then that becomes very difficult for them then to understand that's not going to happen. And then to readjust and come to the point of understanding he's the guru, not the husband, not the guru. Very difficult for them to understand. So at that point, my experience has been, it's been necessary to really become, how to say, sort of especially distant from them, in a way which becomes also very difficult for them, because, they had certain hopes, certain aspirations. And the obvious need of such women is to get married. And I'm not a matchmaker. I tell disciples, or aspiring disciples, I'm not like some of our gurus in ISKCON who are very expert in matchmaking. I said, I'm sorry, I'm absolutely terrible matchmaker. I've never been successful. So, if you're looking for some matchmaking, find some householder to do it for you, because I can't do it. And we've been stumbling through. It's not an easy one. But I don't know if there's so much difference between that situation as brahmachari. I mean, that's also kind of Krishna's humor, I think, and for me personally. That I guess at one point I decided I can't manage a family, and then Krishna kind of said, "Oh, really? Well, let's see." And then I ended up with, so many spiritual sons and daughters, so to say. And then some astrologer told me, "Yeah, it's all there. It's in." I don't think you told me. Someone.
Probably so.
Anyway.